Hey guys, Binny here with Beauty by Binny, and today's makeup look is inspired by Lilly Ghalichi from the Shahs of Sunset. I absolutely love the way her makeup artist does her makeup. First I used MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation in NC42. Then I primed my lids using Urban Decay's Primer Potion and using my fingers to blend. After that, I'm using a MAC paint pot called Constructivist and a synthetic brush by e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I'm applying that on my lids but keeping it under my crease, and it should look something like this once you're done. Next, line your lower waterline using a white eye pencil. The one I'm using is called Pearl by STILLA. Next, I applied the same Constructivist paint pot under my lower lash line using a small Sonia Kashuk shadow brush. Okay, next from the Urban Decay Naked palette, I'm using the eyeshadow in Naked and a MAC 217 blending brush, and I'm blending the shadow into my crease. Then I applied this beautiful brown shadow by Milani Cosmetics called Java Bean over the paint pot and blended it slightly into the crease with a large Sonia Kashuk brush. I also applied the same eyeshadow over the paint pot on my lower lid to set the cream base in place. I applied a black eye pencil above my upper lash line, and then I used the same eye pencil to draw a crease on the outer half of my eyes. Using a small eyeshadow brush, I blended the black pencil for a softer, more smoky look. And now I'm blending out the crease that I just made using a MAC 219 pencil brush. Then I used a spoolie to brush out my brows, and next I filled them in using MAC's brow pencil in Spiked. Use short strokes for a more natural look, and after that use a spoolie again to blend out your brows. Lilly Ghalichi has a full thick set of brows and they always look amazing. Now if you have thin eyebrows, you can use brow pencils and brow powders to create a similar effect. Alright girls, this is a really easy trick you can use to make your eyebrows stand out a little bit more. Use a concealer that's a few shades lighter than your skin tone. I'm using MAC Studio Concealer in NW20. And then use a small brush, a synthetic brush preferably, and line all the way around your brows. And then after that, use a foundation brush to just blend it out. This is going to make your brows stand out a lot more, and the area around your brows is going to look brighter. Next, I'm going to set my brow pencil in place, and I'm doing that by using a dark brown eyeshadow. This one is Brun by MAC. Now I'm using this matte vanilla colored eyeshadow called Orb by MAC, and I'm applying that under my brows. After that, I used this slightly more yellow toned highlighter color, and I applied that under my brows as well using a fluffy brush. And then I blended out the highlight using a clean MAC 224 blending brush. Now I'm using Buck from the Urban Decay Naked palette and a MAC 217 blending brush, and I'm applying that right into my crease just to give it a more blended effect. And then after that I used Naked from the Urban Decay Naked palette with a fluffy brush, and I applied that again just to blend out the eyeshadow additionally. I wanted to define the crease that I made earlier a little bit more, so I'm using black eyeshadow and a small Sonia Kashuk eyeshadow brush and just tracing over that line once again. And then after that I used a MAC blending brush to kind of blend out that line a little bit because you don't want it to look harsh. So now I'm using MAC's Feline eye pencil, which is a black eye pencil, and I'm tracing a line under my lower lashes. And then after that I used a liquid liner, a black liquid liner, to draw a thin line above my upper lash line and then also across half of my lower lash line as well. Then use a small eyeshadow brush to smudge out the eyeliner that you just traced underneath your lower lash line. Going back to this yellowish highlighter, I'm going to use a small eyeshadow brush and highlight the inner corners of my eyes. So now I'm taking the same black liquid eyeliner that I used earlier, and I am just extending it out into a wing. After that, I extended the bottom liner that I drew into a wing as well, and I kept a little bit of space in between both of them, and I kept the wing that's on the top a little bit further out than the one on the bottom. Next, use a white eye pencil and a small eyeliner brush or angled brush and just add a little bit of white right between the two wings that you drew earlier. And it should look something like this. Next, I applied a double set of red cherry lashes in 107. This is the concealer that I'm going to use. It's a MAC Moisture Concealer. If you guys have ever seen pictures of Lilly Ghalichi, I'm sure you've noticed that she does wear a lot of makeup. She uses a lot of concealer and contouring, which is a great look, especially for nighttime and pictures, but definitely not for the day. So now that my face looks all crazy, I'm going to take a damp beauty blender and just set this in place. If you guys still don't have a beauty blender, I highly recommend this product. This is going to be one of the best investments in your makeup kit. It is a great way to blend your foundation and your concealer and even highlighter and cream blushes sometimes. So I highly recommend that you get this. Just use small pressing motions to blend out the concealer under your eyes. And because you soak the sponge into water, it gives you a very flawless, light finish. Alright guys, so next we're moving on to contouring, and I am using Blunt, which is a really dark blush by MAC. I'm going to use that to contour, and the brush that I'm using is by Real Techniques. It's like a small contouring brush, and I absolutely love it. I'm adding the dark contouring powder right into the hollow of my cheeks, starting out with kind of a straight line right into the center, and then I am blending it out in small circular motions. Once you get closer to your nose or closer to your cheek, the apple of your cheek, just kind of blend it out in a circular upward motion so that it doesn't look like a straight harsh line. And after that, I want to deepen the hollow a little bit more to make my cheekbones look like they're higher. So I'm taking a small eyeshadow brush and adding a little more blunt, kind of more in a structured line this time. And then I'm going to blend it out a little bit more. So you kind of have to keep adding a little bit more and then blending it out again, depending on how much you want to contour. I also added some right into my hairline and underneath my jawline, so it looks more defined. And also, if you'd like, you can do this. I like to contour my nose. It makes it look more slimmer, more straighter, so you can always do that as well. This is the very popular Ben Nye Banana Powder, and I'm using that to set my foundation in place. I also used the same Ben Nye powder to set my under eye concealer and a little bit over my nose, over my forehead, on the sides of my nose, and on my upper lip as well. This is just going to give like a more lighter finish rather than a big brush. Next, apply your favorite mascara to blend your natural lashes into the false ones. And also, I applied a pretty heavy amount of mascara on my lower lashes because I just like that look. After that, I'm using MAC's Refined Golden Bronzer and just going over my cheekbones a little bit and a little bit over my forehead, just down the jawline again, and a little bit on the sides of my nose as well, and some on my chin also. Next, I'm using MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish in By Candlelight to highlight above my cheekbones. Just use any small fluffy brush and highlight right above where you did the contouring, and this is going to give your skin a really beautiful glowy look. It's going to look great in pictures. Add some down the bridge of your nose as well to make it look slimmer, and a little bit over your cupid's bow to make your lips look fuller. Next, I'm using my favorite MAC blush. It's called Warm Soul. I'm applying that to the center on the apples of my cheeks and then moving upwards a little bit. And the brush that I'm using is a Real Techniques blush brush. Now I'm applying NYX's lip liner in the color Natural. And the lipstick that I'm using is HONEYLOVE by MAC. Then I went back in over my lipstick using that same lip liner I used earlier. This just defines the lips a little more. I finished the look using this beautiful lip gloss by MAC called On the Scene. And there you have it, girls, our Lilly Ghalichi inspired makeup look. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the makeup tutorial. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And also, the products that I use are going to be listed in the drop box below. Thanks for watching Beauty by Binny. Take care.